Okay, so this unit is going to be about 3D figures. The first section is just looking at views of 3D figures, and then we'll be looking at how to name those shapes. So the first one is just a picture of blocks that are stacked, and you are supposed to determine which one's the front view, which one's the back view, left, right, top, and bottom. So I always like to start with the front view because that's the easiest one to see. So you're looking at just how it would look if you were standing right in front of it, and that's all you can see. So if you were standing right in front of it, you would be able to see these cubes right here. So on the left side, you see 4 cubes stacked up. Then you see 1, 1, and then on the last 2 columns, you see 1, 2, 3, and then right here, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to look for that in those pictures that I have surrounded, and I'm going to drag it to the correct place. I'm looking for something that starts with 4 cubes. So like this, starts with 4, and 1 and 1, and then here it is, 1 and 1. And then the last 2 columns have 3. So this one. So my front view for this shape is this one right here. So if I want to do the back view, you just take whatever the front view is, and then it's like going to be a reflection across a vertical line. So it's going to be like if you flip your image. And so that's going to be this one right here. They're flipped. So that's going to be the back side. So now I'm going to look at my top view. So for my top view, I'm looking at, if I was standing right on top of it, I will be looking at 1, 2, 3 cubes from the top. So some of these ones have 3 cubes. Then I would see 1, 2 more cubes on the second column. So like this one has 1, 2, 3, and then it has 2 cubes on the second column. Then on the third one, I can see 1, 2, 3 cubes. So that would be this one. And then here I can see 1, 2, and then this one, the top 1, 2. And so those are those last 4 right there. So I'm going to drag this one to the top view. And so again, if I'm looking at the bottom view now, it's going to be a reflection of that across a horizontal line underneath it. So this one, you can see those are reflected. So this is going to be my bottom view. Like it's flipped. And then left and right view, you just have to picture like you're standing on the right side of that figure. What would you be looking at? And so on the picture, you can kind of tell that those cubes are shaded. So if I was standing here on the right side, I would see on my left hand side, I would see first 2 cubes. So like this one. Then I see 1, 2, and 3. So here there are 3. Then I see 4. Right, this one's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are those 4. And then at the end, on the right hand side, I would see those 3 cubes, which are these 3 right here. So I'm dragging that one to my right side. And now this is the reflection that would be the left side. So it's really just having to be able to picture something in your mind and being able to rotate it to see how it would look from different views. So that's section 13.1 on your Classgeek assignment. The first slide is on being able to do this. And then we move on to 13.2, or in your section is titled 12.2. But here we go into naming figures. So prisms have 2 polygon bases. Cylinders have 2 circular bases. Pyramids have 1 polygon base. Cones have 1 circular base. Spheres, you all know what spheres are. They're like shape of a ball. And then polyhedron, we don't really go into that too much, but it's a figure, a 3D figure with polygon bases, pyramids, and prisms only. And so here are some of those things that I mentioned. If you can see, all this top row right here are prisms. They're all prisms because they all have two bases and they get named after whatever shape their base is. So for example, on this one, my two bases are triangles, so it's called a triangular prism. This one's a cube because all sides are equal, all faces are equal. Rectangular prism, pentagonal prism because the bases are pentagons. Hexagonal prism because the bases are hexagons. And here, rectangular prism because my bases are rectangles. So they're named based on the shape of the base. And so same thing as pyramids. Pyramids only have one base, but they're still named based on the shape of their base. So that would be a triangular prism. This is a square pyramid. This is a pentagonal pyramid. And this one has 6 sides on the base, so that's a hexagonal pyramid. And then you all know cylinders, you know cones, and then you know spheres. So that's all vocabulary in this slide. You can find all the vocabulary in the section titled 13.1 and 13.2 notes also. And then there's one more example that I want to do with you guys. This is what the second slide in your class kit is mainly about, or third slide, I can't remember. Just being able to name the shapes, name parts of the shape. So we'll talk about vertices, bases, and lateral edges. So on this one, this is a prism because I have two bases. There's one base, here's a second base. And so since they are in the shape of a triangle, this is called a triangular prism. And I would say triangular prism. The vertices are going to be all the corners of your shape. So my vertices are going to be all these corners. Those are known as vertices. So Q, S, R, T, W, and V. For your class pick assignment, you're asked to write them down in alphabetical order. That way it'll come in right whenever you type in your answers. Bases, I just told you guys, those were the green faces of the shape that I highlighted. So I'm gonna use all the letters on the base to name that base. So my first base is triangle QRS. That's one base, and then my second base is this back one right here, TVW. So triangle TVW. And then the last one is lateral edges. The lateral edges are like the sides, the edges that go around your shape. So that's an edge. This one's an edge. And that's an edge. They're lateral edges because they're not on the bases. So my first one, I'm gonna say this one right here is W. Second one, QT. And then the last one is RV. And that's it. That's what you're going to be doing in your class pick assignment for this week.